custodianship of the lands on which we meet and study. I'm joining you today from the beautiful lands of the Awabakal people here in Newcastle, and I want to pay my respects to elders past, present, and importantly acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded. This always was and always will be Aboriginal land. And I invite you, if you would like, to recognise the lands and the people of whose lands you're meeting from today as well. So before we get started, I'd like to tell you a little bit about us. We are the Refugee Education Special Interest Group, or RESIG. We're a collection of volunteer advocates who work together in a voluntary capacity to try and enhance educational opportunities and outcomes for all students, but specifically people from forced migration backgrounds. We've been working together for 6 years now to really advocate in this space. We're made up of students, people working in schools and TAFEs and universities, and importantly, our community organisation partners. Sorry, my child in the room. There you go. That's what happens when you have a meeting after school. We work together to share information, develop resources, and advocate for better opportunities. One of the things we do every year now, and have done for the last 4 years, is host this afternoon to give information to people who might be thinking about joining or applying for university and TAFE study, so further post-school study, to profile some of the options that are available across the states. We've got one today in New South Wales. We had one yesterday for WA, for Western Australia, and we've got one for Queensland and Victoria coming up. So if you've got friends who are living in other states, let them know to watch out for information about similar events in different states, which will happen next month. It's a great pleasure to welcome you all here today. Wonderful people with us today from, Gingy, how many universities? I'm being pestered by a child, by my knee, I'm sorry.
We have 9 institutions, including TAFE, Kaplan, and UAC.
And we are so grateful to have our colleagues here today to tell you a little bit about the options that are available across New South Wales. We'll try and answer questions as well. So we're going to hear from each of the universities in terms of what they offer, and then we're going to have some time for question and answer. And at the end of the session, you'll have a choice of 3 breakout groups to think about options with regard to how to apply for directly for a scholarship to universities. You might want to find out more information about TAFE studies, and you might want to find out more information about how to apply through UAC, the University Admission Centre. And we have Adam with us today from UAC, so thank you, Adam, for joining us. It's really wonderful to welcome you all here. And if you have any questions about RESIG in terms of what we offer, you can find us. We've got a website, and I'll pop a link to that in the chat so that you can have a look and find out information later on. We will record this. As you can see from your screen, you should see that we are recording this session, and we will host this on our website. So if you have friends who are interested but couldn't make the session this afternoon, you can share the link to the video to share with them as well. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and invite our colleague Nila to share the screen. Thank you, Nila. So as you can see, we've got colleagues from across the state with us today. We've got Ryle from the University of Newcastle. We've got, I'm going to regret this now, Leah from the UNSW. Sorry, I'm not going to remember everyone's names. We've got Fiona from Sarah from the University of Sydney. We've got, and please do introduce yourselves in the chat if you would like. We've got James from Kaplan. We've got Nicola from Notre. We've got Perpetua from UTS. We've got Rebecca from TAFE. We've got Ryle from Newcastle. And have I missed anyone? We've got Adam, as I said, from UAC, and Ginry from Macquarie, of course, our wonderful Ginry, who's helped put the event today. Thank you, Nila. Thank you, Nila. Great. So with just a little bit of housekeeping before we get going, please do set up your Zoom name as the name you registered with. You can do this by going into participants and going to more. and adjusting your profile if you need to. You can put your camera on or off, but please do be aware that the session is being recorded. So if your camera is on, you may find that your face is captured in the recording. If you're not speaking, we ask you to keep yourself on mute, and we may mute you directly. And if you have any questions, please pop them into the chat. Please write your questions into the chat. We will be keeping a close eye, so we'll be paying attention to the questions that come up, and we'll be posing them to all of the universities and TAFE and UAC after the session now, with everybody presenting information about their institutions. So thank you. Here we'll go. We're going to pass now to our colleagues from TAFE and universities across the state. And the first university is, drum roll, Neelab, please. TAFE. So Rebecca, we'll invite you to speak to your slide, please. So anyone interested in TAFE study? Thanks.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. For those who don't know me, my name is Rebecca Tongia. I'm one of the multicultural coordinators for TAFE New South Wales. So who are we and what do we do? So TAFE New South Wales is the leading provider for vocational education and training. We help people get skilled, and that is at all times in life, no matter where you are on your journey. Whether it's right at the beginning as a high school student, or maybe you've just arrived here in Australia, to those looking for their first job, and for those looking to change their career to upskill. We change lives every day and offer real-world skills with hands-on industry experience. All right, so TAFE New South Wales has hundreds of scholarships available to you each year. Our scholarships are designed to recognise and support you, so they're not necessarily based on academic merit. Eligible students can receive a single fee-free scholarship in a financial year. Smart and Skills scholarships. So if you are an asylum seeker or refugee, you are eligible for Smart and Skilled training fee-free courses from Certificate 1 through to Certificate 4 level qualification if you meet the criteria. Fee-free scholarships mean that students can get the skills they need and your course fees will be covered. So no need to worry about a formal application. You'll be advised when you enrol if you are eligible for a fee-free scholarship. So these scholarships are also available for people who have experienced domestic and family violence or living in community housing. So also if you are a Commonwealth welfare recipient or the dependent of a Commonwealth welfare recipient aged between 15 to 30 years old, you are also eligible for fee-free up to Certificate 4. So Mature Age Workers Scholarship, if you are 35 years or older, looking for work and wanting to retrain or upgrade your skills, this scholarship is for you. So we can help you get back into the workforce or stay ahead of evolving skills needs. So you may be eligible for fee-free in a Smart and Skills Certificate 1 through to Certificate 4 qualification. Job Trainer. So Job Trainer is a government initiative to help boost the economy and job outcomes for those who have been affected by COVID-19. So it will provide school leavers and job seekers with hundreds of fee-free and low-cost courses. You just need to be aged from 17 to 24, regardless of employment status, including Year 12 school leavers or in receipt of a Commonwealth government benefit, or an unemployed person, or people expected to become unemployed. So for more information on each of our scholarships, please visit our website, as you can see on the screen there. Okay, next slide. So TAFE New South Wales is a place for all students throughout New South Wales to gain the education and skills. So regardless of your cultural traditions, languages or background, we have a large student support network to support you through your study, including career counselling, multicultural support, in-class language support and study support, just to name a few. So if you are unsure about what career or which course of study is right for you, you can chat with one of our friendly career counsellors who can assist your situation and devise a study plan to help guide you through your path at TAFE New South Wales. So if you need to speak with a counsellor in a language other than English, please notify the campus counselling service. You may be able to be referred to another counsellor who speaks to your preferred language or use an interpreter. So our libraries offer a range of services, including access to the latest digital and print resources, supported by a professional team of library staff who are ready to assist with all your research and study support needs. So many of our libraries regularly offer extra activities and host events such as English conversation sessions and tutorials. Next slide. So we offer face-to-face service where you can visit one of our campuses closest to you. Our customer service centre operates from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m, or you can give us a call on 131 601. You can also visit our website to download our career guidebook. The career guidebooks, it's a great resource of information to have, which provides you a snapshot of all of our different courses we deliver, along with future prospects for future training, further training, and employment. So every campus in TAFE New South Wales have their own local Facebook page. So you can keep up to date with campus events, new course information, or you can simply inquire about study and find out what's happening in our space. So please reach out anytime and we are more than happy to assist you with any inquiries you may have. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you, Rebecca. And now introducing Kaplan.
Yes, hi everyone. My name is James Adenopoulos. I'm the Academic Dean here at Kaplan Business School. I'm very happy to be the only exclusively institute of higher education that's not a university to be participating in these very important scholarships, especially considering our globally renowned expertise in international education, which I can expand upon in the breakout session later on. But essentially, 97% of our students are foreign born, they're from overseas, and we've developed a system of support that makes certain that their needs are looked after. So in particular, at Kaplan Business School, we're offering 5 scholarships for absolutely any course at undergraduate or postgraduate level, 1 at each of our 5 campuses, which you'll see there are in Adelaide, Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth, and Sydney. The visas, you'll see that there's subclass 785 and 790. We've since added also bridging visa E, which is now also acceptable. There are no restrictions so long as you continue to enroll in one subject every trimester and maintain a pass average. And as I'll elaborate in the breakout session, there is so much academic support we provide that it's relatively rare for students to struggle to pass their subjects. So what's included in the scholarship is basically a full waiver of all of the tuition fees, so that you won't have to pay at all for your subjects. And there are many subjects. If you're an undergraduate student, meaning you enroll in a bachelor degree, for example, there are 24 subjects you would need to complete, and you wouldn't need to pay for any of those. And some of the ways in which we support our students are listed there. If I could go to the next slide, we can see there how to apply. Basically, visit our website, and you'll see there, if you click on apply, like that will take you to the application form. But also, if in the same section you download the form that's called Asylum Seeker Scholarship Form, complete both of those, submit them to our admissions team, and then you'll hear back. When will you hear back? In late September. So basically, applications close on the 10th of September. The following week, our selection panel will review all the applications that we've received, reach a decision quite promptly, and then notify you by approximately the 24th of the month. Of course, if you have any questions, our email address is there. Knowing that when you apply and are successful, you won't have to begin immediately if an immediate commencement is not suitable for you. So you can begin instead of November, which is trimester 3 for us. You can choose to begin next year in March, which is trimester 1, or July, which is trimester 2. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Okay, now introducing Jindri from Macquarie University.
Hello, sorry, excuse me for 1 second because I'm trying to navigate spotlighting at the same time. Hello, everyone. So I'm the Senior Mentoring and Transition Officer at Macquarie University. I'm going to just touch on one of our main sponsorships, which we have for people from asylum seeking backgrounds, and that's our Asylum Seeker Fee Waiver Sponsorship. So we have a number of these sponsorships available, and it's on a year-by-year basis, depending on the number of applications that we get. there's no set number of sponsorships that we offer. Again, it depends on the number and the number of students who do meet the criteria for acceptance. So the visa categories that are accepted are listed there: the temporary protection visas, SHEVs, VV, As and Es. We are currently in the process of adding the new 786 visas, but that has not yet been confirmed. So we hope to have more news on that coming up soon. So the main thing about this sponsorship is that it's a full fee waiver. It covers the whole cost of tuition, but it has to be for full-time study and undergraduate courses only. We also have a bursary available to scholarship applicants, and that's a $5,000 bursary, which is offered to support students' cost of living. Thanks, Nilab. Next slide, please. So the supports offered at Macquarie, we do have quite a long-standing refugee transition program. So you will have a support officer who's located at the widening participation unit in my team. So you'll have one-to-one support that's offered through that. That transition support program will also connect you to a range of other supports from wellbeing, financial and academic supports that are available at the university more broadly. So if you do have any questions, the email address is listed below, the transition support email address. All links and PowerPoint slides will be shared with you later, so you will have access to them. Thank you.
Thank you, Gindri. And now I'd like to introduce Sarah, not Adam, sorry, my bad. Sarah is going to be representing UAC, the University Admissions Centre. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sally. That's okay. My name is Sarah Sun. I'm the Equity Officer at University's Admissions Centre. People know us as UAC. At UAC, we, in my unit especially, we administer tertiary admission pathway programs as well as equity scholarships on behalf of participating institutions. Equity scholarships are awarded to students from low socioeconomic backgrounds, including, for example, financial hardship, personal illness, English language difficulties, and also refugee background, etc. So the number of equity scholarships offered by each institutions are totally decided by individual institutions. For refugee status category, the eligibility criteria are based on the type of the subclass of your visa. Basically, the following subclasses are currently considered. They include refugee visas, subclass 200, 201, 203, and 204, and global special humanitarian visa, subclass 202, protection visa, subclass 866, temporary protection visa, subclass 785, and safe haven enterprise visa, subclass 790. And then after today, I'm going to bring subclass 786 to the attention of our team and then to our participating institutions to consider whether this should be an additional to the equity scholarships for consideration. So the amount of scholarship and conditions in the offer are also totally just depend up to each individual institutions. The support at UAC we offer is to manage the online application and also the assessment of the scholarship applications. Next slide, please. Thank you. So to apply is to via UAC's website at the link, as you can see here on the slide. Any inquiries for equity scholarships and also other pathway programs, including educational access schemes, which is for students having educational advantages, and also for our early offer scheme, SRS, schools recommendation schemes. All the inquiries, please email equity@uac.edu.au. And then one more thing to mention is the key dates for scholarship applications through UAC. So because there are more than one equity scholarship offer rounds throughout the year, so applicants are encouraged to apply and provide supporting documentation at least 10 working days before each scholarship offer round. That way, you'll allow us sufficient time for assessment. Also, you'll allow institutions to make their offer decisions. But don't worry, if you've missed the 10 days key dates, don't worry, because your scholarship application will stay active throughout the whole year application period, and then will be reconsidered in subsequent offer rounds. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. That's exciting to know that you'll be taking that back to UAC. Now it's a pleasure to introduce Nicola from Notre Dame, from the University of Notre Dame, Australia.
Thanks, Sally. So, hi everyone, I'm Nicola. I'm talking from the University of Notre Dame, Australia. And we are a private Catholic university in Australia, but we accept all faiths of religion or no religion at all. And we have campuses from coast to coast, from Perth in Western Australia in Fremantle to central campuses in Sydney, down on Broadway near Central Station, where we offer our arts, education and business courses, and our Darlinghurst campus next to the St. Vincent's Hospital, where we offer our nursing and medical courses. So the students typically choose to study with us because they like our smaller class sizes, the one-on-one attention from teachers, and our generous amount of work placement and internships that are incorporated into our degrees. In regard to the scholarships, we have the Vice-Chancellor's Humanitarian Scholarship. And this scholarship is awarded up to 10 new students and continuing students for one academic year at a time. So you can apply to do it for 1 year, and if you want to continue your studies, you have to apply again before the start of the next academic year. This scholarship is available to the visa subclasses that you can see listed on the screen, but we are updating that list and have space to include more visa subclasses in the near future. So this scholarship covers the entire tuition fees of the course, and it will cover the whole scholarship. But as I said, you do need to apply to continue your studies on the scholarship for the second year, and it will be based on if you pass your classes, but we do have lots of support to help you. This scholarship is also for students who are studying bachelor degrees, and some of our popular bachelor degrees are nursing, biomedicine, education, early childhood education, law and arts, but also our temporary tertiary pathway program, which is just a 6-month course if you don't quite meet the academic requirements of your bachelor degree. So that helps with academic writing, mathematics, biology, and communication skills to help prepare you. But we also have lots of support, counselling support, English course skills, study workshops, and our mentoring program, where we'll partner you with a student in the second or third year of the degree to help you through your first year of study at Notre Dame. So you get lots of support with that. To apply, if you go to the next slide, you can apply first to our international office to get a letter of offer from us, and then you need to show that letter of offer with your application to the scholarships department. So it's free to apply to University of Notre Dame, and the scholarships department will look at your letter of offer, and the scholarship for 2023 though will be closing in November 2022 this year. If you are unsuccessful, you may still like to start your first year of studies and then try again for your second year for the scholarship. And we do have other scholarships up to 25% tuition fee if you can't get the Vice-Chancellor's Humanitarian Scholarship, which is 100% tuition fee covered. So we hope to see you join our friendly Notre Dame community in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nicola. Now we can hand over to Ryle from the University of Newcastle. Thank you, Ryle.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm from the University of Newcastle in the Centre of Excellence for Equity in Higher Education. And we have a very new programme. It actually just started this year, and it's called the Scholarship for Asylum Seekers Programme. We currently have 3 students in the programme, 2 in law and 1 in construction management. And so as an institution, we are really learning about the best way and effective ways to manage scholarships like this. And at the moment, the processes that we use are, our purpose is to really try and keep them as open as possible, so as that we encourage as many people as possible to contact us, so that we can begin a conversation around eligibility and application processes. So the website that we have is broad and open, and the information that I'll talk to here is broad and open. And like I say, for the purpose that we hope that people will come in and begin that conversation about whether they can apply and hopefully be successful in the scholarship. What the scholarship offers is a full fee waiver for the duration of the degree, and that can be part-time or full-time. In addition to that, there's a stipend of $4,000, which again is annual and can be part-time pro rata applied. And as well as that, the third component of the scholarship is support. And I coordinate the program, and it's providing support to students to navigate all the challenging university processes. But in addition to that, to pay attention to students' well-being, financial well-being, academic well-being, social well-being, to try and ensure that the university experience is as supportive as possible. In addition to that, the process, the first process of application, what we do is encourage applicants to submit an application to for academic eligibility. The eligibility is assessed in terms of academic achievement, academic results, along with English achievements. So the first stage is this, I guess, ticking the traditional university academic requirements. And once that's secured, and once an offer is secured with the university, we go to the next stage, which is the scholarship application process itself, which is very straightforward and is just essentially an expression of interest to the scholarship program, and eligibility. The very kind of general eligibility is in terms of holding a temporary visa, a bridging visa, the safe haven visas. But again, this is very broad because, as we know, there's new visas that have popped up in this year, whether it's the 449 changing to a 786 and so on. And to try and manage that situation of changing visas, we encourage people, anyone who's on a temporary visa of any sort, and is also seeking asylum in Australia and is interested in this to contact us. And so that would be the second stage of the process, and a decision is made then in terms of suitability for the program. And in all that, again, I would emphasize this aspect that we try and support applicants through to make sure that it's as not a scary process as possible. In terms of other aspects to the program, we also offer specialized tutor support for students that may need it in particular courses, and we provide financial support for textbooks. One last thing I'd like to mention is, in addition to this scholarship for asylum seekers program, we do also have an early entry pathway into law for people from a refugee-like background and asylum seeker background. This is an equity merit-based pathway into law, and it can accommodate both people on humanitarian permanent visas, but also people who are on temporary visas of the type that I just spoke about. So there's a possibility of combining both the early entry pathway into law along with the scholarship for asylum seekers application. That's everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryle. Thank you very much. And great to see Newcastle represented this year, and also great to see New South Wales represented this year. Thank you so much for introducing Leah to talk about the University of New South Wales's offerings.
Great, thanks, Sally. Hi, everyone. My name's Leah Cristani, and I'm the Scholarships Manager here at the University of New South Wales. Today, I'm going to predominantly talk about two of our scholarships, the Sanctuary Scholarship and the Welcome Scholarship. But as always, I'd encourage everyone to check out our website, scholarships.unsw.edu.au, as highlighted down at the bottom of this slide, because we do have quite a large variety of scholarships available that you may be eligible for. So I do encourage you to look through our website and see if there's any other scholarships as well that you may wish to apply for. So the first scholarship I'm going to chat about is our Sanctuary Scholarship for people seeking asylum and refugees with temporary protection, UGC 1411. All of this website, when you do apply through the university website, is actually available online too, and there's a bit of detail there around supporting documentation as well. So this scholarship provides full tuition fee, a stipend component, and as well as an accommodation scholarship component too. So that means your tuition fees are covered, plus a small stipend amount, which is like a cash amount, and also accommodation fees up to a certain amount too. So the details of there are available if you look at the fee waiver section and the bursary section of this slide as well. Another thing is too, if I cover anything today and you'd like to know more, I really encourage you to look at the website because we do provide a lot of information there, and also send us an email to scholarships@unsw.edu.au. Another really big important tip for all of these scholarships is make sure you read the scholarship conditions, check out the visa categories that we accept. So I've listed them there as well. Again, more information available on our website, and really ensure that you apply by the deadline. That's really important because we can't usually accept late scholarship applications. So the deadlines are available below there. And again, applications are through our website. I'll now move on to our next scholarship, which is a Welcome Scholarship. So the Welcome Scholarship is a little bit different to the Sanctuary Scholarship. So you'll see there the visa categories accepted are different, and also the conditions, and also there's no fee waiver. However, there is a stipend of $10,000 per annum, and we pay that on a fortnightly basis. Applications for 2023 for this scholarship are currently open, and they will close on the 9th of November 2022. Again, all of this information is available on our website, so I really do encourage you to go there, because even if you look at these two scholarships, if you have a browse through our scholarships search engine and a browse through our scholarship site, there will be other scholarships that may pop up that you'd be interested in, and I would encourage you to apply for those too if you believe you are eligible. Another important thing about these two scholarships to note is that when you accept, if you're successful in this scholarship and you receive an offer, the details of the scholarship, deadlines, terms and conditions are all included in the offer letter too, which you'll be given the opportunity to go through before you accept. I'll go through to the next slide too, please. Great. So I've said it a couple of times, but it's really important to pay attention to the key, to the dates, and also to some of our key tips. So one of the biggest tips I would give is first, like I've said previously, please apply by the scholarship application closing date. If you do have any questions or anything like that about our scholarships that are available, again, shoot us an email or have a look through the website where we do have some further tips and tricks. What I would also encourage you to do is really look through the appropriate supporting documentation that you should provide, because if you don't provide the appropriate supporting documentation, then we can't check your eligibility, which means that we may not be able to consider you for the scholarship. So please have a look through that. Again, we do give examples on each of our scholarship advertisements of what you can provide, and also go into more detail there. For both of these scholarships that I've talked about today in detail, you need to demonstrate academic merit and provide a written response demonstrating aptitude and commitment to studies at UNSW as well. both the scholarships as well important are available for your duration of program, which is really great too. I think that's about it. So all I wanted to chat about too is some further support. So if you've got any questions about admissions, pathways, or applying for admission to UNSW, it's best to contact future students, and we've given their details there as well. The other thing is, if you have any questions about scholarships, of course, contact us and have a look at our website. And that's about it for now. But like I've said, check out our website and reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nia. Now we're going to hand over to Perpetua from the University of Technology, Sydney, or UTS. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Sally, for having us this afternoon. Before I begin, I would also like to acknowledge the Cadigo people of the Eora Nation, upon whose ancestral land our UTS City campus stands. I would also like to pay my respect to the elders, both past and present, acknowledging them as the traditional custodians of knowledge for these lands. Well, my name's Perpetua Bart. For those who know me, I go by the name Pep. I work for the Center for Social Justice and Inclusion at UTS, and I am the program lead for the UTS Humanitarian Scholarship Program. The Humanitarian Scholarship Program here at UTS was established in 2017 to support students from asylum seeker and refugees, students from refugee backgrounds to study undergraduate degrees. At UTS, we understand that often additional support is required, so our program includes comprehensive support for students throughout their study, which I will speak to shortly. This year, we are pleased to announce that we have not only increased our number of scholarships for undergraduate program, but also offering postgraduate scholarship program for particular visas. So for 2023, we have 22 places available for asylum seekers and refugees on a range of visa subclasses, as you can see in the slides provided. Now, in terms of condition and eligibility for the scholarship program, there are few, but what we are looking for is that you can first demonstrate you are financially disadvantaged. Second, that you have not done any other university study in Australia, and that you are intending to study full-time. There are also other conditions, as you can see on the slides. However, one of the things that the students often get confused about is that you must get an offer to study at UTS first to be eligible for consideration for scholarship. I put emphasis on this point. There are conditions, as you can see on the slides. However, one of the things that students often get confused about is that you must get an offer to study at UTS first to be eligible for consideration for a scholarship. One will ask, what will you get under these scholarship programs? If you are successful in getting an offer to study and then an offer of scholarship, what that means is that the scholarship will pay for all of your tuition and the student amenity fees for the duration of your study, whether you are doing a 3-year course degree, a 2-year course degree, or even a 5-year degree. So your fees will be paid in full. That is 100%. You will also receive financial support to assist you with your educational costs of. First, we have the stipend, which is $100,000 per year. 1,000. Sorry, correction. Point of correction. $1,000 per year, which is paid in two semesters, $500 per semester for the duration of your degree into your nominated bank account, and you will also be able to apply for the Equal Access Scholarship, where depending on your circumstances, you can receive between $400 to $2,500 per semester. On this, I do emphasize that students must apply separately for Equal Access Scholarship. So as I mentioned earlier, that the humanitarian scholarship program also provide a range of support for you while you study here at UTS. This include transition program, onboarding, orientation activities, academic support, and career development opportunities, which includes in this program peer mentoring, where in peer mentoring we always we pair the new students with already students who are already at UTS to help them navigate around UTS and help them make them comfortable while they study while they start their journey here at UTS. Academic mentoring is another support we offer for the new students under the humanitarian scholarship program. Under the academic mentoring program, we pair the student with academics here who are here at UTS to help them really feel comfortable with the area of their studies. So for example, if a student is studying a degree in engineering, we make sure we pair them with an academic from the engineering department or faculty. And this has really successfully helped our students to really maneuver and be comfortable around UTS. Another program and support system that we offer to our humanitarian scholarship student is the industrial mentoring program, whereby we also we organize the program to support the student through to support them to the career development. We also have other program that we also liaise our student to different UTS networking. For example, if the students are struggling to settle in, we also liaise them to counseling services. Next slide, please. So you can apply for this scholarship if you are year 12. You must apply to study at UTS through UWork and then apply through the UTS website for the scholarship. If you're not a year 12 student leaver, then you must apply to study at UTS through UTS International and then apply for the UTS humanitarian scholarship through our website also as provided here below. On the slides. UTS scholarship will be open for 2023 application on the 16th of August 2022 and will be closed on the 2nd of December 2022. So ensure that you get your application in on time to be assessed. So if you are successful in getting a scholarship, you will be advised on Thursday of the 22nd of December 2022. For more information about the UTS humanitarian scholarship program, please feel free to contact me on the access.schemes@uts.edu.au or visit our UTS humanitarian scholarship program as provided on the slides provided. I will also add this to the chat box below for your later visit, if you feel like visiting at it later. I also wish to let you know, we want you to have a great university experience and leave UTS with the best chances of getting into your dream job. That is also one of our support program that we offer. We are going to offer all our humanitarian scholarship students. Before I finish, I would like to thank you all for listening and being part of today's Expo. If you have any question, please feel free to reach out today or any of your time of your convenience. Before I hand it back to our facilitator, I would like to leave you with this quote from Malcolm X, who said, "Education is the passport to the future. Tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today." So take heed of all the information you have received today from me and other colleagues from other institutions to prepare for your educational journey here at UTS. Looking forward to having you on board. Thank you very much. I hand it back to Sally.
Thank you very much, Perpetua. And now we hand over to Teddy. Sorry, Teddy, I forgot to introduce you at the beginning. Total bad. Not because we don't think you're wonderful. So Teddy is going to tell us about what's on offer at Western Sydney University. Thank you, Teddy.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Teddy Wanashe, but I go by Teddy. So I am an employee at Western Sydney University. So I work in a program called Refugee, New and Emerging Communities. It's a program where basically we essentially go out into different communities, host different events, and help people from refugee and asylum seeker backgrounds become the best version of themselves. So whether that's through support, as in how to apply to university, as in what courses or what employment opportunities can come for people with a disadvantage like that, we're happy to help. So today I'm just going to be focusing on the scholarships that we offer at Western Sydney University. To start it off, we offer 9 different scholarships at Western Sydney University. Each are very specific to specific aspects. So for example, it's not listed on the screen that you see here, but we do have what's called a Fatma Yassin Equity Scholarship for Women. So for example, that scholarship is only exclusive to women. But I'll start off with the values of the scholarship. So they're all nine scholarships, even including the ones you don't see on the screen here, are valued at $7,500. But as you can see, they do have their own limitations as well. So some are offered for, some you will get $7,500 per year for your degree, some for 1 year, and then some for even 3 years. And then there are some that even go for the duration of the course, the ones that are really good. So the eligibility for the scholarships that we offer is you must be a new or continuing student, but that does not mean that you have to have received an offer similar to UTS to study, so you can actually just apply directly. So with the courses as well, so it's offered across all courses, so no matter what you're specializing in, you're going to be able to apply for an offer. So you might be thinking, what courses are available to me? How would I be able to do a course at Western Sydney University? And that's a really good question, because the scholarship that you see on the far right, the Western Sydney University Refugee Scholarship, is the scholarship that is currently open at the moment. So in order to do a course, you can even apply for something as simple as a diploma. So we have especially tailor-made like diploma courses that people from refugee and asylum seeker centers, asylum seeker backgrounds can do. So these diplomas range from everywhere from engineering, business, nursing, and then you'll be transferred into your second year of university. But that's a topic for a different discussion. But yeah, with the criteria, so with most of them, you have to be a permanent, you have to be granted a permanent humanitarian visa within the last 5 years, or you must be a permanent resident. So yeah, oh, sorry, it's wrong slide. Yeah, so I just get to move to the next slide, please. Sorry, I just have so many ideas in my head, but my mouth comes out faster than I can talk. But in terms of actually applying for the scholarships, you can actually go to the Western Sydney University scholarship website and find the scholarship that you're looking for. All that we do ask is that you provide, the proper supporting documentation in order to apply for that scholarship. Personal statements are obviously the bread and butter of what we look for. They range anywhere from 500 words to 1,000 words. So you'll be detailing, essentially putting your life on a piece of paper, just detailing all your experiences, why you think you deserve a scholarship, what qualities and aspects set you aside from everyone, and just basically expressing yourself on paper. So the difference is, well, it's not really different, but essentially we look through every single application that is made. We always just make sure that, the ones that are eligible go towards for the interview process, where they'll be further asked for more questions. So this is very dependent on how much supporting documentation that you provide. The more you provide, it's kind of more so like the more it's thorough, and then it's easier for the university to be able to assess who can receive the scholarship. But yeah, if there are any further questions, I'm contactable. I'm sorry that I forgot to provide my email address, but yeah, I think that's something I can just provide after.
Thank you, Teddy. Thank you very much. And it's our great pleasure now. We just swapped slides to introduce Fiona. Fiona Lucky Last from the University of Sydney. and we'll hear from University of Sydney. We're keeping an eye on your questions, so all of the questions in the chat will come back when we've heard from all of the universities. So welcome, Fiona.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope that you're well. My name is Fiona and I'm the Outreach and Access Coordinator here at the University of Sydney. So what I'll do today is talk through 3 pathways and initiatives that we have available for students with a refugee background. So to start off with, we have the Early Offer Year 12 scheme, which is also known as E12. And this is available for almost all of our courses. The benefits of E12 include a lower minimum ATAR. For example, some of our courses through E12 are 10 points lower than the regular ATAR. It also comes with a $5,950 scholarship, and it's sent in 2 installments, the first in semester 1, which will be half, and then the other half in semester 2. And students are welcome to use this scholarship as they please, for example, paying for, travel into uni, textbooks, etc. E12 also provides support for students transitioning from high school through to university, and also faculty support when they get here as well. So to be eligible for E12, students must either fit into the financial hardship, and this is applied through the EAS scheme. So we accept FO1A, B, C, and D. Second, students can also reside in an area of low socioeconomic status, or if they attend a rural or regional high school. And on top of this, applicants must be domestic New South Wales students, and it's also open to students who are permanent residents and those who are on permanent humanitarian visas as well. So if we go to the next slide, I can talk you through how students can apply. So what students need to do is firstly prove their eligibility. And if they are going to be applying through financial disadvantage through EAS, they need to put in an application for either FO1, A, B, C, or D. Next up, students need to answer our supporting document. This is where they need to look at the 3 questions we have and provide their answers. There's only 200 words each for this document, and then it needs to be uploaded to the school's recommendation scheme portal. What's really important here is that the applications close on September 15th this year, and we have a very tight deadline, so make sure that your students are getting this in by this deadline. And students will know if they will have a conditional offer by mid-November. We also have online E12 consultations right now, so feel free to book in a consultation and chat to one of our staff or student ambassadors about E12, and I'll provide a link to book in a consultation in the chat box after I'm done. So that's E12. If you go to the next slide, I can talk through the Broadway scheme. So at the University of Sydney, the Educational Access Scheme is known as a Broadway scheme. I know it's really confusing with all these different names, but if students apply through this scheme, they can get up to 10 adjustment factors to help boost their selection rank. And there's a large amount of categories that students can apply to, and there's definitely one for our refugee students as well. And the cutoff date should be November 22nd for this, and I think it's on the next slide. Yes, there it is. So 22nd of November. This is to get ready for the round 2 of main offers. If you have any questions, please feel free to get in touch with us at the email there, admission.pathways@sydney.edu.au. And if we go to the very last slide, I can talk you through our wonderful refugee language program. So this is run through our School of Education. The language program is open to students and it's free of charge. We have classes on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays, and it includes intermediate and advanced communication skills, conversation, technology, and writing CV classes, which are all really important skills for our students to learn. Currently, we have students from more than 60 countries around the world, including places like Sudan, Iraq, Syria, Iran, China, Sri Lanka, and Afghanistan. So I've blitzed through that really quickly because I'm conscious of time, but those are our 3 initiatives and pathways that we have. If you would like to get in touch, please feel free to get in touch via email. And thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much, Fiona. So, and thank you to all our presenters this afternoon. We've given them a very difficult job of trying to talk about the wonderful work that they do in about 3 minutes or less. So if you have any questions, we've got some questions from the chat, but you can also put your hand up by using the reactions button at the bottom of your screen. If you do have a question, for example, Rabisha has. Rabisha, do you want to ask your question, please?
Yeah, hi everyone. This is me, Rubesha Angel Faisal. I'm from Pakistan. I was a refugee in Thailand, but I am here on refugee visa subclass 200. For some circumstances, I couldn't complete my high school, but I've been studying at home. So I think I have reached year 12, but somehow I'm not able to have it on like documents, because I was not allowed to study in Thailand. They abandoned us from study. So my only question is that if there is any program that I can get into the university, because since I don't have any documents from high school.
Do any of our panel want to respond? Because Rabisha, as a
sorry for my interruption. We have just only copy of our documents, and our document stays in Ukraine, and it's a huge problem to transfer.
Okay, thank you, Nina. I'm just going to respond to Rabisha's question first, and then I'll come to your point there. If you are on a permanent protection visa, Rabisha, you can access what's called enabling pathways. One of the universities, I think it was Notre Dame, talked about the 6-month program that you can access. For example, many universities across the country have enabling courses. In fact, if you have an enabling course and you're still here, panelists, perhaps you can speak to that. I know Newcastle have one, UNSW have one, UTS have a slightly different pathway into studies. Does anyone want to talk about this? Or Rabisha, we can contact you offline if you want to put your email into the chat.
Yes, I put my email into the chat. Please contact me, so that will help me a lot. Thank you so much.
But there are options. They're not always available, unfortunately, to people who are on bridging visas or have temporary protection visas.
No, I have permanent resident refugee subclass 200.
So if you're on a permanent protection visa, you are able to access all of the pathways into higher education that any other Australian citizen is able to access, which does include enabling programs. Rabisha, do send us your email, but I will put a link in a moment to some of the enabling programs that are available across the country. Nina, sorry to have cut you off there. Yes, we know that it's always a problem. All universities are aware of the issues with regard to a lack of qualifications and paperwork that comes from having to leave quickly. Does anyone on the panel want to speak to that in terms of how you respond to a lack of documentation? I'm going to put a colleague on the spot, please. Leah, what do you do at UNSW if someone doesn't have documentation and they want to apply for a scholarship?
I think it'd be best, because each circumstance is different, to send us through an email, and then we can refer you to the right area based on your circumstance as well. So I think in the first instance, just reach out and contact us, and then we can provide you with the best advice as well, to sort of save you going through and searching through the website. We're trying to find the right connection too. So if it's to do with a scholarship and you're trying to find the right documentation or you're not sure, just send us an email. If it's an admissions inquiry, we'll redirect you to them as well.
Thank you, Leah. Sorry to put you on the spot. I assume that is true of all of the universities who are here today. If not, can you please just pop in the chat that that's not the case? So the advice there is to contact the university, but it's very common. We know that it's a primary issue, and universities are aware of the challenges of providing documentation. Sam, you're next on my list. Do you have a question for the panel?
Yes, I have a question. My question is, what degree is the best to get a job? In terms of, like, is it IT, medicine, or which one?
Sam, there's no way of answering that question. It really depends on your interests.
Yeah, my interest is that's the interest.
I mean, there's no way that anyone is going to say that you should do one particular degree. It's really dependent on what your area of interest is and what your qualifications would kind of open up pathways to. You could do an enabling course, for example, preparation course, or you might want to consider TAFE courses. And there are, of course, ways of transitioning from TAFE into university study as well.
So what are the employers? What degrees is like? What's in demand? What degrees in demand?
I think that unless anyone else wants to respond to this, I think that's a question for a slightly different expo, Sam, I'm afraid.
Yeah, you might need to look at the migration skills shortage list in Australia.
Yeah.
If you're looking at what there is a shortage of skills, like nursing, for example. I do believe IT is on there.
IT is definitely on there, yeah. Analytics jobs are on there as well. But you have to be very, very careful, because if you enroll in a qualification just because it's linked to an occupation on the skilled occupations list, you may find that you absolutely loathe working in that profession, which is why Sally's comments about determining your interests first is essential. So check out the medium and long-term list, because they do reflect employer demand, but choose something that's aligned to your area of strength and your area of personal interest. Otherwise, you're destined for, a dissatisfying experience.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if it's about trying to look for pathway to permanency, those we cannot in any way recommend any particular pathway. That's just not what we're here to do. And I'm sorry, Sam, that we can't offer you a more satisfactory answer. Kershanthini, do you have a question for us?
Hey, it's not Kershanthi, it's her son. She can't speak English that well.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just have a question. So I applied for UAC through UAC for early entries here, but accidentally for the visa conditions, I put permanent resident. And do I need to go back and change that, or?
Sarah?
Sorry, I was my screen was gone. I was changing in between windows. Sorry, I missed that question. Do you mind please repeat?
If someone has ticked that they're a permanent protection visa holder, but they actually have temporary protection, do they have to go back in and amend what they've recorded in the UAC?
In the application, I think once you don't actually, when you apply for equity scholarships, you don't need to tell us the subclass. You just tell us that you are applying for on the basis of your refugee status, and then you will get a document package. In a document package, then it'll tell you the documents you need to submit. Then you just submit the documents that show the visa subclass, and then we'll see from there.
Yeah,
that answers the question. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the question. I'll just go to some questions in the chat before I come to those people still with their hands up. We have a question about here about whether the scholarships are for all the study or is it only for 1 year, from Mervat. I think what I've heard is mostly they are the scholarships. It depends on the university, so you do need to have a look at the university sites. And what I will do is just quickly share the Refugee Education Special Interest Group website here, so you can see this is our page, and I'll pop a link to this in the chat. So we curate with colleagues at Deakin and Victoria, we curate this scholarships page, and you can have a look at the specifics of each of the scholarships here. For Notre Dame, for example, and Nicola, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you said that people had to reapply after a year, and it was based on academic standing and perhaps other factors. Other universities will offer a scholarship perhaps for the duration without having to reapply, but the continuance of the scholarship will depend on academic progress. It might be possible also for some universities to pause the scholarship. Other universities will have different rules. So there's really a lot of variation across the country, and that's one of the reasons why we curate this event each year to give universities and students the opportunity to ask these kinds of questions. Does anyone on the panel want to respond to that question about the duration of the program and the scholarship?
I can say that at Kaplan Business School, the duration of the scholarship is for the entirety of the qualification. So if you enroll in our MBA, for example, you're funded for the full 2-year period, or for the full 3-year period if you're enrolled in one of our bachelor courses. The only condition, as mentioned briefly earlier, is that you enroll in at least one subject every trimester, and that you maintain a pass average, which will support you to do.
Thank you, James. I think it's really important that we just we do share the information that is available publicly via our website, and we do encourage you and people that you might be working with who are helping you to have a look at the information here, because each university is different. But mostly my understanding is that universities offer a scholarship that lasts for the duration of the program that you enroll in. Other questions that we have on the chat include, is there any chance to get a scholarship if someone is overseas and get a student visa? Unfortunately, as far as I'm aware, and I think it was Yuri who asked that question. Thank you, Yuri, for the question. As far as I'm aware, there are no universities that are able to do that at this point. All of the scholarships are for people who are onshore, therefore already in Australia. If someone wants to come, is not in Australia and wants to study, they will have to apply as an international student. And I don't know of any university that would be able to offer a scholarship for someone who was not in Australia at the time. I will just search the panel to see if anyone is going to dispute that. No, I'm 99.9% sure that is the case for all universities. Everyone does have to be onshore. There are people working in Australia to try and open up complementary higher education pathways, but then they're nowhere close to being available for anyone at the moment. So really, all of these scholarships that we've talked about today are for people who are based in Australia, and also some of the universities have multiple campuses and across the country, like Notre, but most of the universities here are based in New South Wales. And so if someone wanted to apply from out of state, they would have to probably move. There are often campus regulations in terms of being on campus. But again, it's really important that you have a look at the specifics of each of the scholarships that we've talked about today. I'll just take a couple more questions, and then we'll open up our breakout groups where you can ask some more specific questions about applying. I'm going to come to Ubuntu first and then to Mark.
Hi, everyone. I'm from Ghana, West of Africa. And my question is, I have finished Set 3, Aged Care and Disability Set 3, and I have finished Set 4, Disability and Medication, but I haven't done the work replacement, so I haven't get the certificate for Set 4. And I have finished my first aid, and also I have finished mental health first aider. I would like to go in nursing, but my problem is I have a daughter. My daughter is not eligible for childcare, but she will be starting school in January when she's going to be 3. She will be starting preschool. So in that case, I can start a little bit of work, but I would like to study in assistant nursing or go into nursing. That is my dream. I would like to give back and to work hard for the people who have helped me. But I'm just a little bit confused because it's a whole lot of university, and I don't know which one will be best for me or which one that can help me, because I don't have the money to pay. So which university will be good for me, because I'm living in Sydney, in Maryland, that I can study the assistant nursing or the general nursing. So I just want your idea and what you guys reckon. I study with Macquarie College. So when I see Macquarie University, but I haven't searched that place for a long time. So I didn't even know they have university. So I'm just confused. Which university will be best for me that can help cover all the cost of what I want to study? Thank you.
So what visa are you on, Buntu?
I'm on Graduate Visa A.
Okay, I mean, we cannot go into the specifics, I'm afraid, of an individual case. We're going to have to move into breakout groups. But I will put a link in the chat here for the scholarships table, and you can see what's available. I would also recommend that perhaps you contact, if you haven't already, organisations like the Asylum Seeker Centre, who do support people like yourself who are looking for a bit of help in terms of thinking about employment and education pathways. There are some really excellent people who work at the Asylum Seeker Centre. I don't want to only profile the Asylum Seeker Centre, so if there are other organisations present here, or if people know of other organisations who are helping, then please do put the link in the chat as well to help any students who are similarly looking for options. But I'm afraid we can't tell you, Ubuntu, which is the best to go for, because it really depends on your circumstances. I've just put a link into, I've given Sarah, sorry Sarah, I gave it directly to you. I've given a link in the chat here to the Refugee Education Special Interest Group website, so you can have a look at the details of the scholarships yourself. Mark, do you have a question?
Yeah, I'm one of the EALD education leaders in work time, and outside, I guess I do a fair bit of advocacy.
I think that's an understatement, Mark.
I guess it's a question related to what I put in the chat, but I suppose it's mostly for UAC. Like, we know that the new government's going to transfer people on temporary protection visa 785 and the Chev 790 onto permanent. The kids on those visas get, very upset. They have to apply as an international. Because we know they are going to be transferred, but we don't know when. What are the chances that that could be changed when they do their UAC applications this year?
So how agile are UAC if the policy changes quite quickly, is your question, Mark? And we'll hand that to Sarah, please. Sorry, I think Mark's frozen.
Okay, sorry, I was reading the chat a lot. So, sorry, Mark, do you mind repeating that question again? Sorry, I got lost in the chat.
All good. I think he's just frozen, so I'll repeat it. Mark was saying that we know that Labour have committed, the new Labour government have committed to moving people off temporary protection at some point. So if someone is currently applying and they are on a temporary protection visa, how quickly and how agile are UAC to respond to those changes?
That's a very good question. I think at the moment, I am unable to give a definite answer because, as I said, equity scholarships, UAC, we are managing it on behalf of participating institutions, and all the eligibility criteria and assessment guidelines are agreed to by all the institutions. So UAC, we don't own the scholarships. So we would have to, once the policy has been, available, we have to organize a meeting with the participating institutions, and then like a majority of the institution would have to, achieve an agreement, and then we can imply that into our scholarship as soon as possible.
Very good, Sarah. Thank you. Perhaps we'll get you to maybe do a talk for us at some point about what that might look like. But certainly, when Labour make the announcement, we will also make ourselves available to universities and to UAC and others to help facilitate communication about those processes as well. We are anxiously awaiting that policy decision from the new government.
Sorry that I dropped out for about 30 seconds there. I don't know why, but I'm back. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for yeah.
Thank you.
So, it's a watch this space, but it sounds like UAC have got a kind of response, and it will depend really on when the announcement's made, Mark.
Okay, great. Thanks for that.
Thank you so much, everyone who has joined today. We're going to now invite you to join one of 3 breakout rooms. And at the end of this week, you can just leave. We're not going to come back to the main group. So you've got an option of applying to university, which will be Sarah and UAC will be running breakout room 1. The second room is applying to TAFE or to Kaplan, which will be Rebecca and James in room 2. And the third room is about the process of applying for scholarships, which will be run by Amanda in room 3. So we're going to open up these 3 breakout rooms, and you can join one of these rooms. We're going to record these also. And at the end of, hopefully at the end of the week, no promises, we will compile these slides and the recording of these this main room and the breakout rooms, so that they'll be available on the Refugee Education Special Interest Group website, and we'll send it out to everyone who registered through Eventbrite. And you can then mark, for example, for your year 12 students, you can send a link to them so they can also catch up. So we know it was a bit short notice, and we're very sorry for that. It's always a kind of tension between exam prep and getting in before the scholarships open, and our university partners today have been really generous in sharing very clearly those dates. So we're going to open on that. We'll say thank you so much again for your time. Please do consider joining the Refugee Education Special Interest Group. You can join us. I've put a link into the chat, but our website is refugee-education.org. Please remember, we're just volunteers. We cannot, unfortunately, we cannot ever make recommendations to individuals or advocate on behalf of individuals. We don't have capacity, but we can certainly help put you in contact with the right people who can help you, and you've met a lot of them today. But do think about speaking to organisations like the Asylum Seeker Centre, like the like SSI, your humanitarian, if you're on a permanent protection visa, your humanitarian settlement provider. There are all sorts of people who can help you in your local area. It's always about knowing who to ask. And if you're stuck, you can email us on contact@refugee-education.org. Again, we cannot give you specific information to your individual circumstances, but we might be able to give you a couple of links to other organisations who may be able to help you.